I'm live. You know what? I was not even ready for this. I, uh, I think I said like 10 minutes, right? But then nothing happened. So I wanted to like become live, and then yeah, just because I'm like making tea and stuff. Stuff's happening. Hold on a second. Let me. I was actually messing around to see if I could get oh, you know what? Let me do this first. Let me do this instead. So I was messing around to see if I could get like a different output stream for wait, is this I hope this is the right mic. Let me see. So I was like messing around with like different tracks and stuff, but I think I actually want to have this. Wow, it's really loud in my headphones. Anyway, so I wanted to see if I could get this. Um, there we go. That's better. I wanted to see if I can get this working so that I could like have copyrighted music during the stream, and then on the video on demand not have copyrighted music. But I think that's not gonna happen because I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not gonna do that. Okay, so I gonna go get my tea now, but I will be back because it's getting cold. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so you know what's funny? Is I went through like 10 minutes of effort to try to make a I wanted to copy the Primogen like exactly, and I was like, man, how hard is it to? I wonder how hard it is to copy him with his little like his little cutscenes or whatever. Not the cutscene. Like his cutscene's pretty legit. I don't actually know how to do that. I think it's just like a little video clip or something. But I thought, man, how hard is it to put myself in like other like scene, like how hard is it in OBS to do other scenes, right? So this is my for I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna do it live right now. We're gonna see. So I just like so I think the problem for me is that I have the audio output still from my thing. Now I'm just realizing this. Hold on, let me pause this. Okay. I've just realized okay, so I wanted to see how hard it was, but it turns out it's not that hard. Okay? Like I'm just here now. Um there's no music. And so you know what I did to do this? I made it. So I'm like behind this, right? Like, do you see that? Like, so like I did this, and there's no chat in this one either. So like I put this image, right? Oh, see there now you can see it, right? This hand. So I put this image, and it's another image, right? Wait, it. Okay, it's another image right here, right here, and then that's how I did it. I don't know how he does it, but I think this is pretty good. Like I thought it was pretty good. You can kind of see like in the cabinet over there, like right there, over there, right there, right there. It's kind of like off, right? Because I didn't get the picture just right. But hey, I just wanted to try it. It's not really for me. I don't think. I don't think this is like a thing that I want to do necessarily. So I don't think I'm gonna do it. Anyway, back to the regular stream. Yeah, it's just not something that I'm into. Like that's his thing, and I don't really think. I mean, it's funny, but I'm not sure how much value it brings necessarily. I don't know. Maybe it does bring value. I have no idea. I think his streams are so funny, but he's like full of energy. He's like really full of energy. And I don't think I have that much. I don't think I even have that. I can have that much energy ever. Mostly because I've never done drugs, and I don't plan to. I'm not criticizing, but I don't know where his energy comes from, honestly. Oh, okay, all right. So this tea's really good. let me take a. All right. Okay. So today, I kind of want to. I got this. Okay, so I just want to talk about this first. No more leak code for a little while. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like alternate weeks, like where you have leak code. So I want to show you this, right? I want to show you this thing from leak code. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I got a daily check-in thing. Okay, if I go to problems, right, and I go to, what was it? It was, regular expression. Look at that. Oh, it's still like super hard. Okay, so this, wait, not regular expression matching. It was a different one. It was status solved. It was, dude, this thing is super slow. Okay, here we go. It was this one, I think. No, it was this one. Valid number. That one. Look at it. Look at how like our 18%, right? Acceptance. Okay, so check this out. I don't know what that means, but all right. So I just want to talk about this real quick. So I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see the glory of the final solution. You know what? I probably shouldn't say final solution. My final solution that I came up with. So let me go to leak code. Go right. Here. Let me show you valid number. Right. Okay. So this last time, if you watched the last stream, this was happening. Right. So like you have to choose if something is a number. And you had to like check if it's a decimal number. And so I had Copilot on. I don't have Copilot status. Oh, I don't even have, I deleted the plugin because for work, not that I don't think my boss cares necessarily if I like send every keystroke to GitHub, because we send all our code to GitHub anyway, but I don't know, whatever. It's weird like to have it on, and like, I really don't like it. I don't trust it to like have the plugin installed, but then not. So I uninstalled Node. I uninstalled everything that it needs to run. Okay, so this was my first attempt. It was very naive. Let me zoom in a little bit more. It was super naive, right? But it actually worked. Oh no, it didn't work. Oh, but I cleaned it up, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. This was mine. That was mine, and it did work. And then this was what Copilot came up with. Copilot came up with this monstrosity. Like, it had like weird, like things that I've never like thought to do, but it was wrong, right? It didn't matter because it was totally wrong. So I was like, well, let me just break down this regular expression, right? Let me just follow these instructions, no problem. And it was no problem because apparently I'm good at leak code. I didn't even know. Okay, so this, yeah, this is no problem. It's super naive. It's very slow as a regular expression, but this is the solution if you wanted to know, right? This is the solution. Let me see. So here was Copilot's, right? And here was mine. Oh, it actually has it. Okay, so here you go. So look, I'm here, the slowest of the slow, but you know what? It works. All right, so I just want to go over that from last stream. But now, this stream, I'm going to do more Golang stuff. But before that, I want to like make a yesql clone. Like, so let me just for yesql is I've been thinking about this a lot actually. So I did this before in Clojure. Wait, what? That's actually a website? Wait, no. This one. Okay, so this was I just tapped the mic with my cup. Okay, so this was a Clojure library. So you know, he's trying to like break down like what like a, you know, it's kind of what active record is, right, essentially. And then, you know, it's like, oh, this, you just give a SQL file, give it a name, your SQL thing. Then you get syntax highlighting and stuff. Oh, sorry for the drinking sounds. And then all you have to do is just give it name parameters like that. And then it'll fill in this, right? So it's kind of like a stored procedure. I don't know what SQLite call it, stored procedure, or maybe it's like prepared statement. Is that what we're creating, a stored procedure? Answer no. Here, I think the key reason is that you're executing in the same process. Yeah, so it doesn't even make sense, right? In SQLite. But so you basically read this thing, this SQL file, and it generates functions based on the name that you give it, right? So you have a SQL file like this. It has this name thing. It parses this line, and then you call def queries on that SQL file with your database connection, and it creates a function connected to your database, and you just pass in a hash with the key and the value, and then it will return the rows from your SQL query, right? It's very simple. It's classic Clojure. I've cloned this in Clojure before, but one thing I want to do. So the first thing I want to do is I want to implement it in Ruby, and then I want to implement it in Go, because like I want to know where I'm going. No pun intended. But like I don't really know Go. I know how to read my files in Go, thank goodness. But I don't really know Go, so I want to like, how can I make it in Ruby and then like translate that to Go? So the first thing is a name, right? We're gonna make a Ruby gem first, and then we're gonna make a Go module. But you need the name, right? If you're gonna upload it to Ruby gems, you need a good name. I looked up yesterday. There is a yesql gem already. I don't really know. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's exactly what I'm talking about, right? It does exactly the same thing. So app yesql users include yesql yesql. Okay, and then the yesql users. Well, this is so confusing. Okay, select country users, right? Where country? Oh wow, this is not a good use define method. Like I don't. Anyway, it's like tied to active record. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use the regular SQLite thing. I mean, there's a bunch here. Yeah, SQL. But I think a good name would probably be like not yesql exactly, but maybe something like I don't know. Maybe something like let's see, yesql. I mean, you could do like a play, like you could do one removed, right? Yay SQL, right? Like this guy did yeah SQL, or you could just do yeah SQL, right? And it could be like yes, you know, like you know this. But I'm not gonna do that. I think yay or all maybe. Yeah, it's not taking it at all. All SQL, SQL, right? you could do that. I mean, I think I'm just gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it EA SQL for now, right? Or maybe I'll call it yes query. Yes query. Let's see. I don't know. I think you could. I think you can namespace gems. I really want to name it yes SQL, but I don't know. It's alright. I will call it yesDB. I can call it yesDB. I'm okay with that. Because it's gonna be a little different. So the one difference is gonna be you're gonna have 5. Here, I'll just show you. Let me just go into I'll make a new thing. That's fine. yesDB. I mean, all right, yeah, yesDB. Because I need stuff from a project. Let me just go into my my little thingy that I already had up. What is it? What is it called? Oh, all right. Oh, I made this website. So I got really excited about this thing called programmatic SEO. It's a fancy word for spam. But like, think about this, right? When you Google something like how to grow tomatoes, right? Because this is what I was looking at today. how to grow tomatoes, right? Like, okay, the first thing, this is DuckDuckGo even, but so Home Depot has an SEO'd website. The Spruce, I don't even know what that is, right? But like, these are all SEO'd, like up and down, right? To get on the first page, right? So it's like, and let's go into this one. Let's not Home Depot. Let's go into, okay, first of all, it wants your location. That's horrible because it's Home Depot. But look at this. Like, this is garbage. Like, this looks terrible. At least it's not like filled with ads. I bet you if I got rid of my ad, so if I go to the Spruce, right? And I do this. Well, let me disconnect from Tailscale because why? Why am I? And I disconnect my little ad thingy. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, but like how to like any other thing would be like horrible and filled with ads, right? So it's not really something back, right? So this is my plan to save the internet. Okay, I'm gonna spam until it's okay. So like here's an example, right? Like that I thought was like an experiment, which is what you're looking at, the code you're looking at. So I was like, you know what? It'd be nice if I didn't have any like spam or anything. So like if I just look up like for loops in JavaScript, right? So the way this works is I have a little thing for the content, and then I have, so these are all titles that resolve to the same exact for loop code, right? So you can Google a bunch of different stuff, and all that stuff is in this sitemap.xml, right? So here you go. How do I sum an array? How sum array? How to sum array with PHP, right? So like it's different like variations on the theme. I don't really know if this is gonna work, but it's worth a shot. It's an experiment. I don't have anything against Stack Overflow, but this was just the first thing I can come up with. It's super low search volume on Google's keyword tool, and it's not, there's no competition hardly, right? So it was a good like first experiment for me. So yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, the whole thing is like start with something that I know, right? Code. And then you have to wait like 6 months for Google to like index your results and stuff. And then if it keeps getting more traffic, like it doesn't have to be the front page, but if it just keeps getting more traffic, right? Then you know it's working, right? And you can drive traffic, and that's the whole goal, is to make the web nicer. So like if you go there, right? If you say like how to do a for loop job, so like that's all you get, right? And like on mobile, it looks good, right? It just has a little overflow, and that's it. And then if you one little thing I did, which I thought was pretty cool, is if you share it somewhere, right? So it has a little how to do a loop in Ruby, and then I think I'm gonna like reverse these things, and then it has a picture of the code. It took a screenshot with Chrome. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I think this is like much better. Like Stack Overflow has like a little Stack Overflow thing. It's like kind of useless, but this actually has the actual code, right? So it's like it's pretty cool. Like it's a two-pronged approach, right? Social, and it's so Google will say, you know, how to do a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure about this name, Copy Code Clips. My first name was actually Ship Code Snips. And I don't think that's a good name. Ship Code Snips. I don't think that's great. So I changed to Copy Code Clips, but now I think Copy Code Clips is actually kind of a mouthful. So I changed it to Copy Paste This, which sounds like kind of threatening, weirdly, but yeah. My other idea for like mass content is to bootstrap like a Hacker News type situation, but using Reddit and using like for content, right? So like a daily list of links for different like stuff. So like this isn't SEO necessarily, but I guess it could be, and it's completely automated. I already did this for Clojure. So the way it works, I did this like years ago. I don't even know if I'm ranking necessarily, because it's just like links of other links, but I don't know, I happen to Reddit. So yeah, it's like pulls in different sources, right? Like Stack Overflow, Reddit, Clojure, subreddit. It pulls in this thing called Clojureverse. It pulls in like one more, I think, but yeah, it like links to each person's thing, and then it just links back to the original. And it does this completely automatically. Like every hour, it wakes up on GitHub, GitHub CI server, which I don't think you're supposed to do that, but they haven't shut me down. So it wakes up, it scrapes all everything, creates HTML files, and puts it back in GitHub as a completely static web. It's completely free except for the domain, which is only $9 a year. So that's pretty nice. It's definitely it actually uses Janet and Ruby. It's a combination. But yeah, and Maven, yeah. So it's pretty cool. You could do like special stuff. So it's kind of like subreddits, completely automated, but like standalone, I guess, for like different topics. So I thought about that too. But it's hard to compete with Reddit, right? Because you've got like all these devoted Redditors out there. But I thought at least for this, I like this because like there's not comments. I mean, maybe I could add comments, but I don't know. All right. Anyway, so I got like a million things going on. It's probably, yeah. I mean, because I just have to wait, right? But in the meantime, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna have a little fun, and I'm gonna make a yesql clone. So I'm trying to like, my whole goal is to like marry, right? I'm trying to like put the code and the database together, right? Like they shouldn't be separated by computers or networks or anything. They should be the same. I say this every time. Programming languages should have databases in them, right? Like SQLite should just come with the language, right? Like why are they separate? Databases are so useful. It should be in core, right? So anyway, so this is my first attempt, right? And I like this thing where like you write Ruby to make the thing just like in Rails. But the one thing that's different is you can make a constraint, a check constraint, and the check constraint actually becomes a method on the model, right? So you call like page blank content. So you'd like make a page here. You would use whatever this as is, and you would say page.new. I think I've already talked about this before. And then you would say page dot content, and then like that's blank, right? So then you could say page blank content would be true, right? So yeah, that's how that works. And like you don't have to do anything. Like it's in the database, so there's no race conditions. So it's in a database transaction, and yeah, it's kind of nice. Of course, like I understand that this is also blank, but you could do a regular expression if you really cared. But I don't really care if there's like a massive blank string in there. Yeah, I guess I don't really care. All right, so anyway, but you can do anything with check constraints, right? I think you can do anything with check constraints that you would do with your language. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think you can though. I don't know what's up with this music. Okay, so the next thing is the SQL thing. So now I'm thinking, okay, this is cool and all, right? But one thing I would really love is maybe what if I made it even more like yesql, right? But like instead of maps, like maybe we can use structs instead, right? So like a struct in Ruby is this, right? You go struct new, and then you say so here you would say ID content, right? Well, let's say I had this exact table, right? So instead of doing a class, right, I would just do content, HTML, and extension, right? And then I would say, okay, so this is a page, right? And so it's not like you can't put methods on it or anything, but you have getters and setters, right? So you could say page new page, and then you could say page dot content equals whatever, right? And it looks just like a thing, but you're not gonna call page save, right? That's something you're not gonna do, right? So instead, what you're gonna do is you're gonna say dv insert, right? You just have a database thingy, or if you want like database, right? And then you would just call page. You'd say page, right? And one thing you could do on the struct is you can give it a. It'll probably tell me if I could see it. Okay, struct. There we go. Is a convenient way. Blah blah blah. The struct class generates a new subclass as a whole set of members and their values, right? Okay. So it's like half the class basically, but like less memory. So what you could do is to know what you could say struct here, or you could say page, right? I think you can give the struct a name, right? Let's see, Ruby struct name. Pretty sure you can. Pretty sure you can do this. Yes. So here you go, struct new customer, right? And then so you just give it this, and then it would know what the name was, right? So you would say it's page. Here we can do an IRB, right? We don't have to do it. So we could say page equals struct new, and then table name. I'm not sure if this was exactly what it was supposed to be used for, but yeah, let me see. Identifier page needs to be a constant. Oh, frozen. Oh. I think I need to say frozen or freeze. Sorry. Oh my gosh, are you serious? What is up with this? Can I not do this? Even though it's right here? Oh, I think it needs to be uppercase. Is that? Yeah. All right, so then you could say page, and then you could say name, right? It says struct page. And you can say class. Right, and you could say superclass is just struct, right? So it says it is a class, but anyway, so you can't. Let's see, instance methods. I take back what I said. Can you define a method on the define method? Maybe it's a little nicer than I thought it was. Define method. What is it called? Like hello or something? Oh wait, corresponding to each member. maybe created. It's maybe assign values. But yeah, I don't think you can converting. What? Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't think you can define a method on this, but maybe you can because it is a class, right? Hello. You just can't have instance methods, I think. I think that's what it is. Define singleton method. Define method. Maybe you can. Let's try. Hello. And then this takes a block. And then it just says puts hello. Oh, wow, it actually worked. So page new hello. Oh my gosh, you can define methods. Dude, what's the point of a struct? I don't really understand a struct. Well, maybe I guess it's like lighter weight than a class. You don't have to declare it ahead of time or something. I'm not sure. Because it's just a class. But anyway, so it has the name, right? And then you would say, can I clear this? How do I clear? Clear? Okay. So then when you call database, right? And you call, so when you have your SQL files, they're gonna be class methods on the database, right? So like just like in yesql, you're gonna say define queries. So back in the code, you would probably say create table page, and then you would say this is independent of migrations, but so you'd probably say down here after all the migrations are done, right? Which I actually thought about this some more, and I thought, man, maybe I could just do something like this, and then you could choose when to migrate the app, right? So then you could call migrate here. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That already works, I guess, right? So anyway, this down here would say, so you don't have to actually call migrate. You can call it outside the app, right? But it's still in the app. All right, so this down here would say, you would say queries, right? You would say database queries, and you would give it where the SQL is, right? So probably DB queries, right? And then you would say database query, you would say define queries, right? Probably. Because it's not def queries, right? And I don't think, maybe you could just probably say define queries here, actually. Define DB queries, right? And then you could do like a whole folder of queries, maybe one file, one query. But I think it also has one file, many queries. Oh, I see. So there is no folder situation. So maybe you could just have one file with a lot of queries, right? So then you would just say queries.sql, and it's just one file, which I love. I love that. So define queries, right? And since this is my own thing and no one's going to use it, I could just do define queries, right? Like that. And then this will create, so like let's say queries looks like this, right? This is queries.sql. Let's say it looks like this, name, page, recent pages, right? And then it would just say select from pages, order by, created at descending, right? Man, it's kind of nice to write SQL though, honestly. I mean, because the equivalent active record would be page, order, right? And then you would say created at descending. You're actually not missing that much, like in terms of like you only have to select, which is whatever. But if you could actually just say select whatever you want, ID, created at whatever, right? It's kind of nice. That's where the structs would come in, right? So anyway, this is order by, and then you just say like you could say limit, right? So then recent pages, and then you could just say define queries. So these are defined here. So let's say you had like a route like this, and it would just pages, and then you could say pages, and inside of pages, you could say recent pages, right? But if you don't like that, you could have a class called database, right? Or a class called DB, right? Actually, yeah, you could have a class called database, no problem. class database, and then you could have something, and you could define queries in there, and then that will just create the queries in the database thing. So database.recent pages. And then if I wanted, which I do, I don't want to call database everywhere, so I just call database. And define queries is going to define them as class methods, right? Not instance methods. So this could even be a module, right? And you could just include database, or you can extend database, and then you know, instead of having to do all that, now you can have them back in the thing. But I don't want that. I just want them to be on this class database, and I want yes, I want that. I want to be able to call DB recent pages, and then you'll get pages. And the first page would be, well, let's just say this is what it's going to look like. It would be like this, and then, well, it's not a hash, it's a struct, right? So that would just be an array of page structs, right? Page struct, page struct. Okay, that's how it's going to work, I think. Yep, that's how it's going to work. All right. So let me... Well, I only have one method to make, right? I only have define queries, right? Def define queries, right? And then this is going to read the SQL file, right? And then you could do this multiple times, right? As long as they don't have name clashes. Even if they do, they just be redefined, right? Read the SQL file, parse the names from the SQL file, parse the names. And luckily I've done this like a bunch of times with Janet and with Closure. But it was like years ago, so maybe it won't be as good this time. Parse the names and SQL from the SQL file, right? Oh, you know what? This also needs the database connection. So that needs that, right? Of course, all this is going to be transparent because this is going to be part of this whole like thing, but maybe as a gem, I could separate it out. So yeah, database connection is the second argument. Just like yesql, right? Is that what they do? Yeah. Oh, there's also a way to define the query explicitly, like with just def query instead of def queries. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so let me see. So we can do this queries one, whatever. We could separate it however we want, right? We could even loop over all the queries, right? Like you'd just say dir, and then db queries, and then you know, if you wanted to do that, and then you could say each do, and then you could have query, or you could have file name, and then you could say define queries that way, right? But the only thing that matters is define queries, right? So parse the names in SQL from the SQL file, define method, the names and the database querying, and that's it, right? Just 3 steps: read the SQL file, parse the names in SQL, then you're going to define methods from the thing. That seems it seems pretty straightforward, honestly. It seems like it should work. Yeah, it seems like it should be okay. So it take 2 arguments, optional, I think, for me. Connection is the last argument, database.connection. We'll just do that, and then we'll say this is not a hash. This is actually going to be just the name of the SQL file. File name. Okay, and then it's just gonna say file read, file name. And there's no conventions, so you have to do the full path. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is hopefully gonna make this easier for me in Go. I know Go doesn't have define method, but what Go lacks in macros and define methods, it makes up for in code generation. So that's what I'm gonna do. So like I could do code generation here, like, and I'm literally just like writing a new file called you know, I could say db. Wait, what? Oh, that's so weird. Wait, why is it recording? Oh wait. Huh, interesting. What if I do that? Oh. It was weird that it was showing that command. That was really weird. Define query. Oh, that was really weird. Okay. Okay, so because I was actually SSH'd into my other server. That's what it was. Okay. So all right, so file read, right? So this is contents, right? And then so that's read the SQL file. That was easy. And then we're gonna parse the names in SQL from the SQL. So this is a little tricky. I don't think it is though, because this is like what it looks like. So this could have multiple, right? So it could have this. So I think reason page 1. So I think select from whatever. So this is multiple lines, but I think the only thing that I care about is this dash dash name, right? Let's see. I think there's even some other things you could do, right? So there's actually you could do regular comments, right? So, the file format is name, tag, docstring comments, and the query, right? My my clone of this, I actually went a little further, right? You can give it a function to execute on the SQL. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, it worked pretty well. One thing that I thought was going to be quite different than that is I think since structs are classes, right? And I'm just going to make up structs as I go. Am I going to make up a struct as I go? Because I'm not going to have I'm not going to define classes ahead of time, right? Like that's the whole point of like in Go I can't do this, but in Ruby I can, right? Where I return struct and the struct. And now I know I can define method on a struct because they're just classes. So we can have save. Hold on a second. Can I mute this somehow? I don't even know how to, let me just disconnect it. Okay, I think I'm back now. All right. Okay, so I just want to say my wife's gone, so I'm just all alone and sad and lonely. All right, so she called me. Okay, so contents file read, right? Parse the names and SQL from the SQL file. So that this part, I'm not going to do what I did there, where I give it an argument or a method to execute. It actually got 69 stars. 69 stars? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. All right, that's pretty funny. But yeah, I haven't touched it in forever, and I don't know like if anyone actually used it besides me. So anyway, so parse the names in SQL. So in this case, I think I probably want to do a regular expression, but I don't need to do a multi-line regular expression, I don't think, because I think I'm just gonna look for dash dash and then name, because there's nothing else to do really. So if there's dash dash name and then look for, then I think I'm just gonna split. I think I can actually split on dash dash name. Let's actually try. Let's try it. So touch. You know what? Enter DB touch DB queries. Whoops. Touch. Actually, you know what? Make dir DB queries. We're gonna make a file called test.sql. Right. And then this, we're gonna read it right now. Actually, we're gonna put some stuff in it. Test equal name. Actually, let's do like a malformed one, right? Whatever. And then select from whatever. Where ID equals ID. Oh, you know what I have to do is I have, oh no, I already said do the query, right? Yeah, that's fine. SQLite, the SQLite Ruby library actually supports named parameters, which is kind of cool. Name, yes, no. And then I could just say random SQL comment, right? And then I can actually do one that's like name, yes, and then random SQL comment, another random SQL comment. So I should just ignore anything that's not name, and then I have SQL here, right? Select from the goods, right? Okay. So I think that's good. So we'll just split it here. Actually, we're not gonna split that. We're gonna do, so now that's the thing that we're doing. So in IRB, we can just say file read db queries test.sql. Okay, so that's what it looks like, right? This is the string. So I don't need to read it anymore since I already have it. I can just put it here as a comment. So I could keep it in mind, right? Okay, so looking at this, I think I'm gonna split on, I don't want to split on new lines. Maybe I do actually want to split on new lines. Let's see what it looks like. Let's actually make a different file. Actually, no, I can keep pasting in the thing. So let's see, if I split on new lines, let's do define queries, db queries, what is this? What am I doing? What is it called? Test.sql? Okay, so that, and then parse the names and SQL. So if I just split like an idiot, if I just split on new lines, right? Let's just split. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Okay. Oh, it doesn't like database. Let me just get rid of this for a second. Okay. Okay, so that actually, that's not looking bad. I don't mind that. So what I can do is loop over all the lines, right? And then if it starts with -- name, colon, space, and then like I can do a regular expression on that line, right? Because I don't want to get some random SQL comment as a method, right? So that's good. So I think if and then I just get the next lines until there's another name colon line, right? And then that's the SQL query. Because like you can put SQL comments in the thing. I don't care necessarily if there's SQL comments in the query that gets sent to the database. It's just extra stuff, I guess, right? Or I could ignore any line that doesn't start with, I can ignore -- lines that aren't name lines. Yeah, I guess I could strip comments, right? Or I could just send it to the database. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna strip comments. I think I'm just gonna take them out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take them out. Okay, I know I said this was Go, but sorry. I said earlier I was gonna make it in Ruby, and then I'm gonna make it in Go. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to both this stream. Maybe I should change it. Ruby. Maybe I'll say making it Go, like making a Ruby, and making a Ruby yesql, and then I put Golang in there. Jeez, no one wants to watch Ruby, so I got you with the Go, you know. All right. Luckily I changed it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Ruby's like the least interesting language. People really care about performance. All right, let's see. Define queries. So I think what if I split on, because if I split on name colon, yeah, I think I could just do something really easy without any contents each do, and we could say names. We could say We can use a struct. No, we'll just use a hash. Queries is a hash. Then we could say content, or we could say lines. Lines. Lines.each do, and I can even read each line from the file, right? If I'm gonna do this. Actually, you know what? Let's not. I don't want to tie myself to this yet. Okay, so this is line, not content. And if line, and we could just do this to start. Dash name, colon. But really, you don't want it. Can start with. No, start with can't take. You have to actually match it. Match. This. Dash. Okay, starts with. Right, dash, and then space, and then, or any number of spaces, actually, I don't really care. Or no spaces, yeah, that's fine. Name, colon, do I need to, no, I don't need to do that. Colon, and then any number of spaces, and then anything that is like a valid Ruby method name. So I think words and numbers, but you can't start with a number. But whatever, it'll just Ruby will fail if it does that. So I think anything that's not white space, I think, right? So I think that's not white space. Is that not white space? I don't actually know. So anyway, yeah, that's so if line match, right? Then we will say queries, and then we'll get the matches, right? Match data. We'll get the captures, I mean, 2A. We will say matches. If matches, yes. Matches dot 2A dot first. Actually, we'll say, because it's probably gonna, is it a named capture? I have no idea. We'll just say first. Queries, and we'll add that as a thing, and then we will say empty string. Actually, we'll just say nil. Okay. Yeah, I can actually test this. Queries. All right. Okay, so here it is, right? Name W. Oh my gosh, I just got the first word. Are you serious? Plus, right? There we go. Okay. Not white space, but also more than one character. That'd be nice to do. Okay, here we go. We got it. Name, whatever, right? And then nil, and then name yes, and it ignored all the random SQL comments that didn't match. Perfect. Okay, so if this line matches, then we have to get each subsequent line, right? Could potentially be a SQL statement, right? So since I'm doing this line by line, which probably not the best thing to do, because I'm gonna have to like build this string now, right? I think Ruby has like an optimization for this, but it's not really. Let's see, Ruby string builder. I think it's like IO string builder or something, string buffer, string IO.new. Yeah. So now we're gonna make a string IO.new, and it's gonna be S, and then we're gonna say if match. Okay, so if matches, and okay, so now I have to say, we'll just say next, and then if matches, or if does not match, right? And then we'll just say if it doesn't start with a comment. Yes, if it doesn't start with a comment. Dot whatever. If it, yeah. Okay, so if that does not match, then we're gonna say, so this is not a comment. And not, okay, so this one's gonna make start a new query. And I don't know what I'm doing with my arms. My hands. I'm like trying to just tell you. Okay, so and this one's gonna make a new. This one's gonna say skip all. If it's not a comment, we're gonna do it, right? So queries. So this one makes a new string IO thing, right? So string IO dot new. Actually, yeah, so s is nil here. And then this is actually s is now a string io dot new. So we will say and s is not nil. All right. Okay. Then we're gonna say because the last line. This is tricky. Now that I'm doing line by line, I usually just split. I'll just usually split it all and figure it out. But anyway, so not a comment. So it's not a comment, and there's a new string thing, right? But this string thing should only last until the last line. That's either if it's not a comment. Okay, I see. So if it is a new line, right? Like let's say there has to be new lines between. Oh, because I'm making a new one. So maybe it doesn't matter, right? Okay, so not a comment and not just like an empty line, I guess. And line does not equal a new line. Yeah, so if it, yeah, okay, so if it's not a new line and it's not a comment, then we're gonna add to the string IO whatever it is, right? And then so now that we're gonna say well, fine, whatever, Rubocop, whatever. Okay, so not a comment. We'll just say if matches. Okay. It didn't like that I was assigning inside the if statement. Okay, so not a comment and not a new line. Then add it, and then it comes around again. It's not, right? So we can look at that. We can look at the. Let's see. So this one is not a new line. So this one's a new line. So skip that. And then this one, select star, is going to be inserted. This is a new line. Skip it. From whatever. Oh, you know what? I split on new lines actually. So I have to say if the line is not empty, right? Yeah. If it's not a blank string, right? We can just say if line strip empty. And not empty, right? If it's not a match and it's not empty. I'll probably clean that up in a second, but it doesn't matter. From whatever, that's going to be inserted. New line. Actually, we can look at the output, right, from before. Okay, so here would insert into the string IO. This one would too. Why does this keep happening? And then this one would too, and then this one's empty, strip empty, so no. And then this one is a comment, so no. Strip empty, no. And I heard name, yes. New string IO, but it's gonna be skipped. Yeah, I think. Oh, you know what? This actually might work. Let's look at it. Queries, output queries. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm just adding to the thing I wouldn't be able to see. So the string IO, right, and then the next one. We're actually gonna set the next match on the previous match, right? Oh, this isn't an ordered. I don't think it's ordered though, right? Or we could, maybe it is ordered. Queries.keys dot size -1, right? Queries dot keys. Oh, this is kind of a dirty hack. I don't know if I like that. Maybe we'll keep track of the last match. It's nil. The previous key, right? And then we'll say previous key. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this approach. Now that I'm looking, I might just do the split thing that I was talking about, or just do all multi-line regex. Might be better. Okay, first. So here we get to say key matches to a dot first. You know what I could do is here I could just call this, right, key, or I could just call this previous key, right? I can just call it key. That's actually a little better. Oh no, but I need a previous key. Never mind. So this is key. If key, use that, and then set the previous key to that key. By reference, not by value. Like go. This is gonna be kind of a pain in go. It's gonna be It's gonna be something else. Let's see. Queries key is nil, right? So then, you know what? I just no, it's fine. Actually, maybe I instead of setting this to nil, maybe I just set it to the new string IO. And then, because queries key is still it's still, if I have the key here, yeah, then I could just say key nil at the beginning. Or I could just call this and call this here, but then I could just check the line match again, and I can go back to what I was doing, right? Matches? And I can say if matches. Yeah, this is key, and then I could just set it to the string IO. And then instead of S as a random string IO, I don't even need to do a key, any previous key, because here I'm just at the query, right? Queries key, or I can say, oh, you know what I could do? No, it's fine. So key hasn't changed, right? Yes, this is better. Queries key, and I can just set it to the string IO, right? And then I could just make a new, I could add a new line too, right? This is why I don't do inline ifs right away. Yeah, I can add that. So then I could just add like a space, and then it could all be on one line. Or I could just do a string interpolation, right? Because they're going to be next to each other if that's not the case. Actually, the line itself has the... Oh no, because I stripped all new lines. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Okay, so this is looking okay. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to work anymore because I just went crazy on it, but yeah, whatever. You know what? What is it? What is that? I don't understand that. Time to test it, right? Okay, so string IO, it doesn't like that. I think I have to require it. Require string IO. Is it IO? Require IO dot string. Is it IO? Is it string IO? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, can it actually complete it? There we go. Okay. Require string IO. Okay, let's try it again. And let me, before I forget this, string IO. Okay. All right. So, okay, it's a string IO because I didn't change it to a string. No. All right. Let me see. Queries, and then I think I need at the end of this, I need to just say transform values 2s. All right. Okay, well that didn't do what I wanted. How do you get it? Oh, it's dot string. Not it's it's actually string is the thing, right? To make it a string. Amazing. Okay, so that, yeah, this works pretty well. Name whatever, select from whatever, where ID equals ID. There's an empty thing at the end, but who cares, right? So all this equals on one line, right? Came out of the file. Oh man, that actually worked pretty well. That's not bad. I mean, it would have been nicer to do parse the names, and so this we could just make a separate method. Dev parse SQL or parse queries, right? So there's define queries, parse queries. You know what? We might as well just make a read queries. We can just say lines. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, though, maybe it would be parse line. And then this parse line would be Ruby read. You know what? I'm gonna use my thing. It's not ready. File line. How to read a file line by line in Ruby. Perfect. I'm gonna use my own thing. It's actually useful for me. And hopefully it gets some SEO juice eventually. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna read, instead of splitting on the lines, I'm just gonna read it line by line, right? Because why not? So file name. I can also just get rid of these parens because, you know, why not? So this is the line. And then do line, and then this is going to be parse line, right? And then I think because I was keeping track of the key, but I don't think I need to declare it ahead of time. Let's see if it works. So queries is a thing. So parse line is not gonna do much, right? I'm gonna pass queries in. Queries line, and then I could pass I could pass in anything else I need, I guess, right? Yep. So queries key is here, but I think it's okay if I define it. So there might not be a key here defined. So I think I just need to say key is nil, right? It's better than not defined. And then it's matches first. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and I'm resetting it on every line. So we'll just pass it in, doesn't matter. So we can pass it in as a nil. Okay, so parse line queries a nil. It's not great still. Like this, it feels really weird. I feel like I could do a little better, but oh well, whatever. So queries and key is nil, and then we can just say key is here, right? Because yeah, there's like weird outside state for every line. But it's like, how can I? Yeah. But I guess it's just how it goes when you're going line by line, right? You need like outside state, right? So now that I've changed this, let me. So parse the names and SQL from the SQL file. Let me give this a shot with my change, my parse line change. Undefined method parse line. Really? Oh, invalid next. Okay, so I'm not doing next, but that's okay, right? Because it's just gonna, I think it's just going to, I think it's just gonna work anyway. I think. Undefined method for nil class. Oh yeah, so this this queries key was. So I have to actually make this an else now. Oh yeah, I don't like this at all. Okay. Undefined method for nil class. It's still nil. Queries is still nil. But I'm passing it in from the outside. It should be referenced to the hash here, right? Oh, you know what I could do is hash new, right? Hash key, and I could just every key I could just make sure that it's never nil, right? So every key that gets thing is string IO, new, right? Okay, so I think, oh, you know what? We'll just say return, right? And then I hope I've changed the not a comment or empty line. I feel like this is right. Man, so much for splitting it up. Man, I thought I was making this better, but apparently I was making it worse. Okay, so name whatever is now nothing, and then but nil is something, and name yes is nothing. Also, why are there new lines here? Is that not? Oh, I see. And if I do, wow. So if I do file for each, right? Puts line. Yeah, let me see what it looks like. Quite a bit different than I thought. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I was saying if it's an empty line. But what I want to say is if it's a new line, right? And line does not equal new line. Which I should probably use the constant for that, but yeah. Okay. So it's not any better, right? So here, it actually has a new line. Then it has select, right? So so it has a string IO. You know what I could do to make this a little nicer? Since it has new lines now. If line does not equal and line does not equal n, right? So I don't want to do that. I probably just want to do this because I have new lines now. Select new line. Maybe start with, right? New line? Wait, no, that's not the case. If line does not equal new line. Let me look at this. So I returned this, and then but queries has changed, right? And then the next line comes through, right? And then I pass queries and key again. Maybe I have to come up with something that's not like keeping this key state. Did I just skip that? Was there two songs that are the same? I have no idea. Okay. Wow, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. Okay. Let me see. If I don't use the key, right? And I just use matches to a first, right? I could just do an array instead of I could just do an array, right? And then I could just use the last one, the previous one, right? So I could say queries is an array, and it's gonna be matches. It's gonna be the key, the name, right? And it's gonna be an array, and then oh, you know what? I could just zip these up to be. I could just merge these all, right? Later. Let me get rid of this stupid thing. Okay, let me see. How do I merge multiple? Is it zip? 1, 2, 3? No, zip is something else. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and then but I think if I wanted to merge an array, oh my gosh, can I? Wow, IRB. Merge and like B, right? B1. Okay. What if I wanted to merge multiples, right? Would I just do multiples to merge? Like, could I do this? Will that work? Yeah, okay, so I could just do B, C1, right? Oh my gosh, C1. Okay, so that'll work, right? Perfect. So I'm gonna do queries is an array of hashes, and so the hash is still right here. It still makes the string IO new, but what I'm gonna do is to keep track, instead of a key, I'm just gonna say queries dot last, right? Because like I'm appending to the end of the array. I'm just gonna say queries last. Oh, you know what? These are arrays too. You know what? Forget that. These are arrays. This is not a hash. Oh, you know what? No. I could do a hash. I could do a hash. All right. Last values first, right? Oh, that's annoying. Let me just do, because I want to do just last, right? So this is an array of arrays now, right? Lots of arrays. Query last. This is line, right? Man, I'm still stuck in. I can't escape LeetCode thinking now. I'm all stuck into it. Oh, I'm just gonna loop through lines instead of doing, like, instead of splitting and just doing regular expressions. Or instead of just doing a multi-line regular expression, right? That'd be the thing. Queries matches to a first string IO. Okay, queries last line. So this is the previous query. And then, okay, yeah, that this will work, I think. And then you don't really need anything else except for this this queries thing, right? And then, so this isn't gonna be this is gonna be an array of arrays. But I just want to see what it looks like. Okay. Cool. Okay, so it's string IOs. Cool, great. So we can just map over this, and we can say q array last. Oh, you know what? Now that I have this array of arrays, what I could do is I could just say queries.map to h, right? And then I could say transform value string. I think I can do that. No, I can't. Okay, so I can't map with 2h. What if I just do map 2h? Does it not like that? Because they're 2h wrong element type at string. Type string at 0 expected array. Oh, you know what? I need to actually convert the whole thing into a hash. What am I doing? Transform values string. There we go. I don't need to map over anything. No mapping. No mapping. No slapping. All right, I said that on Twitter. No slapping, dude. That'd be amazing if someone came in here and slapped me in the face. Like, oh man, that'd be incredible. I wish my wife was here so she could slap me. Then people would talk about my shit and be like, man, someone just slapped him in the face for no reason. They got real angry. Okay, so name whatever, and then here's the SQL, and it preserved new lines, which is, hey, that's something, right? All right, so this is much better because now I don't have that dumb key thing. And I'm going line by line. Yes, this is much better, and it's memory efficient because it's arrays, right? Well, I mean, memory efficient for Ruby, I guess. Like, okay, so now that I've parsed the names, and the SQL from the SQL file, the last step, which I deleted, was to define methods, right? So now it's just a quick loop over the thing. So I have the name. Actually, you know what? Why do I have name colon? I don't want to match the first. I want to match the last. So let's see. Will it get me just the name? Yes. Okay. Perfect. So now that I have just the name, we're going to loop over the queries, the key value. We're going to define methods, right? I'm just going to define methods in the current namespace, but yeah, that's fine. No, that's actually how it's going to work. Define method K. It takes args, right? Actually, it takes a hash. It only takes a hash. It takes arg. Right? Can I do that? Actually, I'm not even sure if I could do that. We'll just say it takes keyword arguments, right? It takes keyword arguments, any number. And what it's going to do is, since arg is a hash now, right? It's going to database. I need the database now. I need it. Okay, so I need the database, so I need to do something else with this. But yeah, let's say execute the SQL, right? So v with the params, and we can call it params instead of args. Yeah, that's it. That's all it takes. Amazing. Okay, so now that's it. Like, that's the end of it, right? Okay, so let me bring in. Let me do, because this isn't Docker. Let me do bin Docker. Oh, you know what? This is not gonna work at all. Oh wait, yes it is. Because I don't think I've messed up anything else here, right? I think everything is still gonna work. Let me do bin Docker console. Oh, let me see. No, it doesn't like that. Define queries, undefined method, define queries, right? So we're just gonna make this self, and this is gonna be self. And then here we are, define queries, right? Okay, undefined method job. Oh yeah, I did mess around with this. Okay, so I think I left this. Take screenshot. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I really I really messed this thing up. Let me bring this back. Oh wait, no, I have it here. Okay. Yeah, I was like experimenting with like why would I make this a class? Just because like I have to inherit from this thing, but I could easily just change the. Oh, you know what? Let me see. I'm looking at this. Okay, so okay, there we go. Okay, so like I could easily make this a class. But why? Like why? Why don't I just make this? So like the routes work like this. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted. Okay, what was I doing? Yes, this should work now, right? Take screenshots. Was not screenshots job. Perform later. Okay, take screen. Okay. Okay, so hopefully this will work now. All right, so it's already working, right? So it already defined the methods. So if I do app.new, and I say actually app.new I think needs something, doesn't it? Yeah. Or maybe I could just say app.new. And I say whatever, right? So that's perfect, right? Define queries, uninitialized constant app database. Oh, it doesn't like that, but that's fine. Let me define method. It's gonna be yesql database, right? Actually, you know what? I think I've already messed around with this db thing. Yes, I did. Perfect. db.execute, right? Perfect. Okay. We'll restart it. And so app.new whatever, right? So it should give me, oh, you know what? The SQL is a string IO. Oh my goodness. Oh, because I'm not transforming, I'm not mutating the queries. I'm just out for nothing, right? Okay. So let me one more time here. One more time. Here we go. App new whatever. Perfect. Oh my gosh, it's still a string IO? Are you kidding me? Am I crazy? Like what is going on? Transform values to string. Let's output that and see what it is. Oh my gosh, why? Okay. Okay. All right. So puts queries, and then puts queries.toH. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to make these hash necessarily, and I can just do late binding here. No, I don't want to do late. I want to do this. String is SQL. Yeah, right. SQL. I can just do that imperatively. That's much better. Okay, yeah, I don't need that to be a hash. Okay, perfect. No such table, whatever. It's working. It's an error, but it's working. Let me make this real. Select from pages, and then it'll probably return hashes for now, but I have to get to the structs later because I'm kind of running over time here. And then we'll make this one select from names. Where? No, there's no where. We'll just say limit to. Right. And this is where ID equals ID. So that's actually not a thing. And neither is this, but here we go. Yeah, what's up with the SQL with my neovim here? What's up with that? Config. What the heck, man? Tree sitter? What's going on here? Do I not have SQL? Are you kidding me? I don't have SQL. All right, so if I restart this thing, oh my gosh. Parser not available for language SQL. Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's no neovim SQL syntax highlighting. There's no SQL tree sitter. Are you kidding me? Dude. Vim. SQL syntax. Just classic Vim. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, plug this thing. More completes, it catches errors. Okay. sql.vim was modified and found at 6 years ago? 9 years ago? Dude, it's so good. Okay, let me see. Let's see if it works. Dude, what? Hold on. Neovim, tree sitter, SQL. Wow, there's really nothing. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's insane. I honestly can't believe it. No one writes SQL. I'm the last person on the planet that writes SQL. Everyone uses ORMs. All right. Let me restart this and we'll see. Test.sql. Oh wow, that's still not good. Oh, it doesn't like name probably, right? No, it's not. Wow. Order by? Limit 10? Oh my goodness, like what is this broken SQL syntax? Create table. Create table, hello. Right, ID, int. Okay, integer. Not null. Unique. Okay, so it does kind of work, but like not for having. Okay, so not for limit though. Offset 5. Oh my gosh, like are you kidding me? I gotta fork this. Like what is going limit? Oh my gosh, there it is. Group by into. Comma before certain words. What does that even mean? Limit what? Limit 10? What? Comma before certain words? Don't even understand that. What if I do this all on one line? Oh my goodness, this is a disaster. Wow. Okay, well whatever. Limit 2, right? And then where ID. I mean, it still looks better than it did, so that's good, right? I mean, this isn't actually SQL, I think, but whatever. I mean, you could do this, right? So it should work with a question mark, or it should work with either one, right? So this is pages, and then this is gonna be names. Okay, let's try it. Just start it up again, and then this is the moment of truth. What am I doing? App.new pages. Oh, you know what? That's probably a bad name for this. Query pages, and we'll call it query names, just for now. Oh, you know what? Let's actually let's do what I was saying, right? Let's put it in a different class, right? Define queries. Let's do this. Instead of that, we could just do database, and then there we go, right? And then I could do what I was doing before, defdb, and override, right? The other oh, I can't do that because I'm using db. Okay, I'll have to actually use this. The full name, and then here we go. Wait, am I using db anywhere for anything? Oh, I am for db transaction. I have to say database, right? You know what? Maybe I will just keep. Maybe I'll do db. I can't do. I'll just do that. Wait, no, it's fine. I'll just do database. I gotta figure that out. I can't use db everywhere. Okay, so app new. Oh my gosh. Define. Did you mean define method? Oh, because I'm in a different class, and I have to say self dot database. Can I do module inside? No, I can't do that. We'll put this in here. Technically, you wouldn't have this in the app anyway, so I think it's fine. Okay. All right. Did I get that right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I should have a app dot. Oh, you know what? I have to do a little bit. Def database is database, right? Oh no, I can call that without that. App.new. I don't even need to do app.new. I can just say app database dot, it should have a method called, what did I call it? Query pages? No, I called it test.sql pages. Pages, right? Undefined method pages. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I moved it into this class and now it's not working. Define method, right? On self. Oh, it needs to be new. New.pages. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, cool. So it did do the thing, but it didn't actually return anything. Oh, it returned nothing because this needs an ID. Okay, so it doesn't like no such bind parameter, right? It doesn't like the params ID 1. Wow, it doesn't like that. I don't know why. Oh, because I just have to give it. Oh, you know what? I have to do args here because it's either gonna be args. I think actually, you know what? I think that'll work. If I look at execute, params is nil. But yeah, I think that'll work because I should be able to send it either an array or a. I think it'll work. So if I send it 1, yeah, it worked. Yes. Okay, perfect. So if I change test SQL on the fly, right, to ID, right? Dang, that's the fastest I've ever made a yesql clone. Okay, so it doesn't like bind parameter. It doesn't like ID, but does it like this string? No, it doesn't like it. Params ID. Oh, because it already loaded, didn't reload, right? Okay, so either I'm thinking I can change it from underneath it, or I have to redefine the methods, right? So like, I'm calling define queries, but maybe do I want to not define the method? Do I want to define the method? No, I want to read it at startup. That's horrible. Okay, so if I restart this, and then if I pass ID, okay, so if I pass ID as a okay, yes, it does work. Nice. Doing an interview code challenge. Copilot didn't know the solution and do all the work for me. Doing an interview code challenge. Copilot didn't know the solution. No, I'm not doing that anymore. That was last stream. Unless you were doing that. In which case, yeah, it's sad. Copilot, you know, doesn't get it. All right, so that, dude, Matt, you came late. You gotta watch the VOD. But yeah, this is great. I can't believe I did this in such a short amount of time. But yeah, this is amazing. So this is all it takes, right? How many lines is this? What is this? This is -2, so 34 lines of code, minus the database stuff. But I think even that database stuff you would find is just the SQLite, whatever the connection to the database is. And you know what? I hate this. I hate that song. So let me see. If I do names, right, with no arguments. Yes, it returns 2 names. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. Oh yeah, me. Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious. Copilot didn't know the solution. Dude, I mean, that happened to me. I had to come up with my own regular expression at the end of that thing, and I actually did it. I should have done it on stream, though. It would have been. Oh, I did do it on stream, I think. I did. I remember, because it was a clip. I remember. Yes. All right. So anyway, that's the stream for tonight. This works. I can't believe it. I can't. But this is incredible. It's amazing. I say that every time, but this is actually amazing that I did this so quickly. And I definitely want to use this. I don't want to, because I'm defining queries. I think I'd have to say define singleton method, right? Is that to get it on the actual database, right? Because as class methods. Let's try. Okay, I just said I was done, but then I'm still doing stupid stuff. Okay, names. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay, so this I could just say database, right? And then I could just say database. Amazing, amazing. Or I could just say DB and overwrite it, right? Because I think it'll still work. Or I could say, you know what? Instead of doing db.transaction, I would instead just do database.transaction, right? And then, but now I've defined database as a class here. So I really just want to define DB here, probably. DB. And then I could, you know what? I could just define queries, right? I could just say queries. And then, but this would probably be hidden from me. And then I could say queries. But I can actually even say just queries. And then I could keep DB, right? Or I could call it Q. And then I could just call Q names. Q. So yeah, the other part to this, there's two more parts that I haven't done, but I wanted to do, but I'm not going to get to it. The other part is going to be, it's going to be when you get the struct back, right? So like, first of all, it's just maps, right? But when you get the struct back, so this would be rows, and then I would convert to structs, right? So I would say struct new, and then I would say, I wouldn't even give, I would just start with keywords, or the symbols, I mean, content, whatever. I would say rows, right? Whatever keys are in there. I would say map to sim. And then just give it a little star. And then this is the struct, right? Rows.map, rows.keys. .map to sim. Or I could say rows transform keys to sim. And then I would say, oh my gosh. I would say, I wouldn't even call it anything. It doesn't even have a name. Okay? It doesn't even have a name. Then I would say, this is the struct, right? Row struct. I'll give it a name. And then I say rows.map is actually row struct. Or I could just call it row, right? And then row. I can actually do this now. Row new R, right? Because it has the keys here, right? And then I would just say a keyword init. True. And then the other thing I would have to do is row. Wait, can I do that with a struct? I don't even know if I could do that. Struct.new ID. Row. Row new ID 1, but I can't do that, right? Passing only keyword arguments to struct will behave differently from Ruby 3.2. Please use a hash literal. Oh, that's even better for me, right? ID 1. So now I don't have to do any transforming, right? I could say, please use new KV. Oh, do they have to be? ID? Okay, so row dot. Oh, you know what? Then I can just call it .id. It should give me 1, right? Am I crazy? I'm nodding. Yes, I understand. Yes. ID. Oh my gosh, it actually gave me the stupid struct. Please use a hash literal instead of new KV. What? What? 1. Okay, so now ID's 1? That's stupid. That's really dumb. Okay, let me do struct and then keyword init true. Yeah, let me see. Already initialized constant row. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Row new, and then I could just do this, right? Wrong number of arguments expected. I can just do that. Okay, there we go. Yes, perfect. 2 stars is the way to go. R, right? Transform keys. Oh, you know what? I actually want to do this for real. I want to actually mutate. And then there we go. So then I'm going to map over, return structs. And then when I do the structs though, right? I'm also going to, for every struct, you know what? I might just make it a class. I might just have a row class, and just like, you know, have some methods. Cause then I could just say row, Actually, no, I think this is okay still. Let's see, and then I could just, because every struct is going to be, every class is going to be different. So I'm either dynamically making adder accessors, or I'm dynamically defining methods on a struct, right? So here I would just say define method save, right? Actually, these aren't even unique to each. So I would say I would just have insert update. Okay, I really gotta go though. Update, delete, and then maybe like a save and like an upsert. And then I'd also, one last thing I was gonna do was like find, and then I was gonna do all, right? So it's like a half ORM just for the stupid stuff that you don't want to keep in sync with the SQL file, just like I did with OKSQL, and then half dynamic hashes from the database, right, from SQL, right? So yeah, I don't know if I want to do this or if I just want to actually have a class called row that has those methods, and then just dynamic, because I already did record, because active record already does this, right? Where it like has the columns and then it creates the attributes, which is what I do here. I have an accessorized thing and it just does the adder writer and adder reader, and then it sends the value. So I could just easily do this instead of all that, and then I can have real class, real methods, insert and all that stuff, right? And then I could just say this struct here is not a struct. I would just say row new, and then I would just pass this in. I don't have to do any weird stuff with keyword in it and all that stuff. I could just pass it in and say row, right? Or I could just say rows.map row new, like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's better. And then I can just return that. Yeah. Okay. And I could even call it record. And I could even reuse my records, but I don't think so, because records are kind of tied to tables and rows like weirdly. This would just be row, right? Which I don't think I have a row. Class row? No, I don't. So yeah, this would just have save, and then update, right? And then it would like take arguments, delete. Oh, actually, you know what? This doesn't even, this just needs params, right? And then this would just save whatever you've got. And then this would find, right? And then this would be all. Yeah, so you'd have like kind of a few, right? And this is like upsert, right? Save. Yeah. So you'd have like kind of a few, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't mind that. And the thing about yesql, it goes a little further than this actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, I'll get to it next stream. All right, so next stream I will finish this thing and it'll be good to go. And you could pass in arrays and it'll do like insert alls and stuff and a bunch of stuff. All right, that's it for the stream. Matt, appreciate